If you love pickles as much as I do, you'll be excited to know they are super easy to make. You could just buy them at the store, but making them at home gives you the freedom to get exactly the flavors that you like. Whether it's sweet, sour, or even super spicy pickles, it's entirely up to you. Let's get started. You'll need a glass jar, 4 to 5 pickling cucumbers, pickling or kosher salt, filtered water, 10 cloves of garlic, 3 to 4 sprigs of dill, 1 teaspoon of whole black peppercorns, 3 to 4 fresh bay leaves, and half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper if you like a little heat. The most important thing about making pickles is the ratio of your saltwater brine. This is going to be about 1 teaspoon of pickling salt for every cup of water. My jar is around 4 cups, so we're going to use 4 teaspoons of salt. While the ratio of your brine should be accurate, when it comes to spices, it's entirely up to you. This is where you get to get creative. If you like more heat, add some jalapenos. Me personally, I like it with a lot of garlic. This is not like baking a cake where one wrong measurement and the cake comes alive and tries to eat you. First, chop the pickling cucumbers. Slice them like you would get at the deli. You don't have to do this, but because my jars are fairly small, we're going to be able to fit way more if we chop them. Now, add the pickling salt to a separate container and top it with hot filtered water. If you have another jar, you can just use that. Give it a good shake until the salt has dissolved. Now, line as many pickling cucumbers as you can upright around the jar and add all the spices. We're using fresh bay leaves because they contain tannins. These are going to help the pickles stay crisp. I would not skimp on these. You could also use a grape leaf or even a tea bag if you have that. Next, just top the jars with the saltwater brine and seal it up. Now you can put the jar somewhere for around a week so the pickles have time to ferment. When the pickles ferment, they're going to produce CO2, so you want to make sure at least once a day you open the lid and burp the jars. You can skip this step, but only if your goal was not to make homemade delicious pickles, but pickling grenades. Grenade out! Checking every day seems tedious, but let's be honest, if this was your first time making pickles, you were gonna check every day anyway. Another good part about this step is you can check for flavor after a few days. The longer they ferment, the more sour and soft they're gonna get. So it's really entirely up to you when you want to start eating them. I'm going to check them every day after a few days until they're a good balance of salty and sour. The jar will have some cloudiness and some bubbles. That is totally fine. That's the fermentation working its magic. Once they're exactly how you like them, they're done. Throw the jar in the fridge and they'll last for a few months. But come on, these are only going to last a few days. Did you cut, Brandon? Yep. I am starving. These are going to last like 5 minutes. I think that's it. These are gonna last like 5 minutes.